Okay, this will be for the con assignment Systems of Equations with Elimination Challenge. So it's the same as the last one, equations with elimination, but these problems are more challenging. All right, just a reminder for elimination, the two things you're allowed to do, you can multiply or divide either equation by any number except 0, and you can add or subtract the equations to and from each other. All right, again, the goal is to get one variable to drop out when you add or subtract the equations from each other. Okay, so let's see. So as always, we have two equations with two unknowns or two variables. All right, so there is nothing, unless you would get into fractions here, there is nothing you can multiply on just one equation and get the variables to drop out. Okay, so I like working with 10. That's a nice round number. Okay, since we have a 10 here and a -3 here on the bottom, I'm going to multiply the top one by 3 and the bottom one by 10. Okay, and the reason I'm doing this is because on the x, I'm going to get 3 times 10, which is 30. And on the x down here, I'm going to get 10 times -3, which is -30. Okay, so when I add those, it'll drop out. So let's distribute the 3. Okay, remember, you can do the same thing to both sides. So that's why you have to distribute the 3. You have to distribute the number that you're multiplying by. So 3 times 7y is going to be 21y. 3 times positive 10x is positive 30x. And 3 times -11 is going to equal -33. And for the bottom equation, 10 times 4y is going to be 40y. 10 times -3x is -30x. And 10 times -15 is going to equal -150. Now, we can add or subtract the equations. You can see we have positive 30 and -30. So I am going to add these two equations. 21 plus 40 is going to be 61, and we still have the y. Plus 30x minus 30x, that's gone. And -33 plus -150 is going to give us a -183. All right. Dividing both sides by 61, the 61s cancel. And y is going to be 183 over 61, and that's just -3. Okay, so the y is -3. That goes in the box. And for the x's, you can use either equation. All right. So I'm going to use this equation here because I like the fact that there's a 10. All right. So take your y equals -3 and plug it in right there. All right. Let me rewrite the equation. 7y plus 10x equals -11. And I plug in y equals -3 right here. So 7 times -3 plus 10x equals -11. 7 times -3 is -21. And adding 21 to both sides, the 21s cancel. You bring down the 10x. 21 minus 11 is 10. And of course, dividing both sides by 10, the 10s cancel. X equals 1. And that goes in the box right there. So we got 1 and -3. Okay. So again, well, this one's better. See, we have a 3 and a 9. So I know if I multiply the top one by 3, I'm going to get a 9x and a 9x. Okay, so let's just do that. Multiply the top one by 3. Okay, and of course, that 3 is multiplied on both sides. So it has to get distributed. 3 times negative 5y is negative 15y. 3 times positive 3x is positive 9x. And 3 times 3 equals positive 9. Okay, this one we already have a 9x, so I'm just going to rewrite it. Negative 8y plus 9x equals negative 12. All right, and so now I have positive 9x and positive 9x, so I am going to subtract these two equations. Okay, of course I could have multiplied by negative 3 and I would have had negative 9x. So same thing either way. Okay, so let's do this. Negative 15y minus negative 8y. That's the same as negative 15y plus 8y. Because two negatives in a row make it positive. So that's a negative 7y right here. Plus 9x minus positive 9x, that's gone. And 9 minus negative 12 is the same as 9 plus 12, which is 21. Again, if it's easier for you, maybe I should have done negative 3, so we had negative 9x. Either way, it's the same thing. Okay, dividing both sides by negative 7, the negative 7's cancel. And 21 divided by negative 7 is going to be negative 3. And what do you do with that? You plug it in. Plug it in on either one. All right. So I'm going to use this one right here. I'll rewrite it. Negative 8y plus 9x equals negative 12. Okay, and y equals negative 3 goes right in there. So negative 8 times negative 3 plus 9x equals negative 12. Two negatives make it positive. And subtracting 24 on both sides. The 24s cancel. And we have a negative 36. Okay, dividing both sides by 9, the 9s cancel. And negative 36 over 9 equals negative 4. So negative 4 and negative 3. All right. So we'll do a couple more. All right, let's see here. So we have negative 10 and negative 5. I know if I multiply the bottom by 2, I'm going to get another negative 10. All right. And this time I'm going to do it, multiply it by negative 2. This way I'll have negative 10 and negative 2 times negative 5 will be positive 10. All right, so let's try it that way. Rewriting the top, negative 7x minus, you know what, I need more room here. All right, that's better. So we're multiplying the bottom one by negative 2. All right, rewriting the top, I have negative 7x minus 10y equals 45. And on the bottom, The negative 2 times negative 3x is positive 6x. Negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10y. And negative 2 times 25 equals negative 50. All right. Negative 7x, I'm going to add these two equations. Why did I choose add? Because I have a negative 10 and a positive 10. And when I add those, it's going to drop out. All right. Negative 7x plus 6x is negative 1x. And negative 10y plus 10y is 0. And 45 plus negative 50 is negative 5. Okay, dividing both sides by negative 1. The negative ones cancel. And x equals positive 5, right? Because the negative divided by a negative is a positive. That 5 goes in the box. And we also plug it in, right? So I'm going to use this equation again. And I'm going to take my 5 and put it in right here. All right. I'm using this equation because I didn't really multiply it by anything. So figured I'd just use it again. Negative 7 times 5. Okay, we're plugging in 5 and plugging in 5 in place of x. Minus 10y equals 45. Okay, so we have negative 35 minus 10y equals 45. Okay, and adding 35 to both sides. The 35s cancel. Bring down your negative 10y, and that's going to equal 80. Dividing both sides by negative 10, the negative 10s cancel. And y is going to be negative 80. And that goes in this box right here for y. All right. So we'll do one more. And I like this one because you have to do multiplication on both equations. Okay. Never try to avoid fractions at all costs. Always go with the bigger numbers if you could get away from fractions. So see, we have a 3 and a 2 on the x. We have a negative 11 and negative 5 on the y. I'd rather work with the x. Those numbers are smaller. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the top one by 2, and I'm going to multiply the bottom one by 3. Why am I doing that? Because 2 times 3 is 6, and it's going to give me 6x, and 3 times 2 is 6, and that's going to give me 6x. And then I can get rid of that. Okay, so again, you can use negative 3 if you want. So you get 6x and negative 6x. Okay, it doesn't matter. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times negative 11y is negative 22y. And 2 times negative 1 equals negative 2. Always distribute the number because you have to do the same things to both sides of the equal sign. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15y. And 3 times negative 3 equals negative 9. Okay, so because I have 6x and 6x both positive, I am going to subtract these two equations. Okay, and of course I could have done negative 3 here and gotten negative 6x. Maybe that would have been easier. It's up to you. 6x minus 6x, that's 0. And negative 22y minus negative 15y minus negative 15y. That's the same as positive because 2 negatives in a row. So negative 22 plus 15y is negative 7y. And we have negative 2 minus negative 9. That's the same as negative 2 plus 9 because the 2 negatives make it positive. So negative 2 plus 9 is 7. and dividing both sides by -7, y is going to be -1. Okay, and take that -1 and plug it in. We can use either equation. Okay, so I'm going to use this one right here. All right, let's rewrite it. 2x minus 5y is -3. And this -1 goes right in here in place of the y. All right, 2x, we have -5 times -1. That's +5. And subtracting that +5 on both sides, the 5's cancel. -3 and -5 is going to be -8. And dividing both sides by 2, x is -4. And that goes in the box right here. Okay, so the bottom line is you have two equations and two unknowns. Okay, two equations with two variables. So you want to match the coefficients on either the x's or the y's. Okay, either one. And you may have to multiply both equations by a number. All right, so you see, I basically reversed it. I had a 3 here, and I multiplied this one by 2. And I had a 2 here, and I multiplied this one by 3. Okay, because 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 2 is 6. And then when I had 6x on both of them, I was able to subtract it and eliminate one variable. Okay, that is the goal, to eliminate one variable. All right, and of course, like I said, I could have done -3, and then I would have had a -6x. So I just would have done 6x plus -6x. And again, that would eliminate the variable.